whenever libs are freaked out about like, whether Trump's going to beat Biden and the election is in a month or whatever, you always look at him and go, you can chill because your part is completely done, and that's important in politics. But, I mean, even if this is just a hypothetical, we're not talking about whether we have any part in it. The outcome is still something that affects us.
Oh, it for sure affects us.
Right.
Because the question is like, is this a joke or is it a failed coup to overthrow even the presentation of democracy in America? Which would be a big deal for people who host left-wing podcasts, personally. Like, I think you're going on a bad list after that. I don't personally love it.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, there in some quarters has been a push to use this as an excuse to like curtail civil liberties or beef up the surveillance state. And I think we know by now that there is a very limited interest that the intelligence community actually has in disrupting or stopping right-wing extremists. Historically, it's been about the left because that's who actually threatens the power distribution in this country. They have gone after the right sometimes, but then they'll do things, like at Waco. But then after Waco, it's like, oh, we can't do that again. And so they never really followed through on Oklahoma City and went into the compound where they knew the people who probably planned it were, because they didn't want to cause another stir. But so if there's any more funding, any more legal framework that is given to law enforcement, national security agencies, I think that's something that we should oppose. And to her credit, right, people were already the day after blaming AOC for, playing into a narrative that would lead to more of that stuff. She did say we don't need another war on terror. We don't need a beefed up war on terror. The war on terror needs to finally end.
Well, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, oh, I was scared by the Capitol Police. I want to give a new tank to the Capitol Police. They're our only line of defense.
I mean, I think she did vote for that, or she ended up voting either president or she at least voted president. She may have voted yay. I'm not totally sure, but she did effectively let more funding go in for that specific agency. Whether or not they, that call is, I guess, a bit above my pay grade. I would say on an instinctual level, I'm not for more funding for police, but clearly if this could happen, there's some inadequacies in that
But
department,
do you think funding is the problem? Like,
I have no idea. I don't know.
6 more robot dogs is gonna address the issue? Like, these are all off-duty cops going in and beating up the on-duty cops.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably don't need more money, but how, like, from a security standpoint, I mean, how did this happen, and how would they be able to prevent it again? Not that I'm like necessarily that invested in in general that happening.
Yeah, don't bring out the scoops like in Soylent Green. It's the year of Soylent Green now.
It feels like it, honestly.
Yeah, we're getting those scoops this year. That's how they're going to prevent the next J6.
What was I about to say? I don't know. The in regards to what you were just saying, right? Like, what can you do to beef up the security to stop more things like this from happening? That's kind of the question of the entire event, because a lot of these op-eds I was reading and all these liberal newspapers about what a tragedy this event was all have the same underlying premise, which is that Parler and 4chan and Twitter to a lesser extent and Facebook groups
and Gab, right?
And Gab, that was the one I'm forgetting. Gab allowed all of these people to meet in one place. And so the question is, how many more mods can we add to stop January 6th from happening again? And I think that question is the same as the how much more money do the police need to stop the police. It's not a question of technology. It's the socio-political situation in America is such that the average citizen's brains are fucking pudding. and everybody's feeling violent and insurrection worthy.
You think J6 wouldn't have happened if Twitter a year ago had this new function where you're about to tweet like "die motherfucker" at someone, and it's like, whoa, take a break, think about the human behind the screen. This is a heated conversation. All right, see you later.
Conversations like this can get intense. Do you want to storm the Capitol building?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do.
The best part about reading the stuff that came out right after this is it's all about how Donald Trump should be banned from Twitter, and now he is banned from Twitter, which is why I got to say one of the main effects of the January 6th thing, getting Trump off Facebook and Twitter. Goodbye, Donald Trump.
Yeah,
You've
which has
crossed your last bridge.
only made Twitter worse. He's still a political presence, and we don't get to read his hilarious tweets.
You have to subscribe to his email, which sends a lot of spam.
That's awesome.
Not to mention, he forwards like a lot of articles from just other websites, which is like, I don't want this.
Are you subscribed?
Somebody signed Ballin' Out Super up, so I get all the emails, and I have to delete them, and I read some of them.
Oh, no. What are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow? I'm open.
January 6th is tomorrow. I'm implying that you're radicalized.
Oh, he's
yeah.
going to go back for round 2.
I told you I'm open.